Hello and welcome to my channel. Now, today I want to talk about something that some Nigerians might find sensitive. So, if you know you're not someone who wants to talk about breaking up Nigeria and you're just not interested in that conversation, this is not for you. For everyone else, let's have a conversation. I'm of the ideology that Nigeria needs to break up to save lives. It's too big as it is, it's not functioning for Nigerians, and it's a failed state. What do I mean by it's a failed state? If you look at all the key markers in Nigeria, nothing works. Education doesn't work. You know, the economy is in shambles. You have people who are ruling Nigeria on autopilot. Infrastructure is non-existent, road network is bad, food insecurity, just everything that the state should be providing for its citizens, it's lacking. Nigerians are practically doing everything themselves. So I'm a proponent that if we're already leaning towards that way, Nigerians are self-sufficient in many ways. That's why we have gated estates. That's why we have communities that are almost 10 times more developed than the rest of the area. Now, with this in mind, I believe that Nigerians have a right to rule themselves. Every region should have the autonomy to rule themselves. Nobody in Abuja should be deciding what an Ijaw man does with his money, with his time, with his taxes. The same thing with the Yoruba man. No Hausa man should be dictating to a Yoruba person what they should do with their money. Everyone has the right to rule themselves. It's just like you take it to yourself, you take it in your everyday life. Can a stranger come and tell you how to spend your salary? So why don't we see this in Nigeria? The problem in Nigeria is that there's forced unity. The Nigerian government, the leaders don't want to have tough conversations, don't want to see the fact that Nigeria is a failed state and Nigerians are agitated. They are agitating because we're being forced to stay together. Let the Fulani go their separate ways. Why do we need to cohabit? Why do we have to make excesses and make up for people who are not being productive in our community, in our society? Now, I want to just talk about the many benefits of breaking up Nigeria. I know you have yours, but for me, the top benefits are saving lives, security. Nigerians and it's in their regions, their governments can put money towards securing their borders. When the borders are smaller, you don't need as much money. They can focus on the weak spots in their own borders, in their own region. You save lives, you protect lives, and you protect the community. And secondly, resource control. If your region is productive, the people in your place are educated, they're contributing. Why shouldn't you use your resources to develop your region, your universities, your banks, whatever it is, your industry? Why should you have to send money to another region because they're just giving birth? You know the region I'm talking about. They're just giving birth and they have a chill way of life. And so now me, who is doing my best, who is hustling for my family, has to make up for another Nigerian who is not doing anything. I don't see that as fair. I understand that initially the point was to have, the whole of Nigeria develop at a similar rate. But as we can see in 2025, that's not working. It's no longer efficient because you have regions taking advantage of this. You have governors and you have politicians who are just using population as a way of resource allocation. But they're not using these things for the regions and for the development of the people within that community. Fundamentally, I am pro Nigerians and I will always be pro Nigerians. So for me, it is about the development of the Nigerian person, Nigerian people, the preservation of culture, of language, of way of life. I am an Yoruba lady. The way I live my life and my values are not the same as an Igbo man or an Igbo woman, and that's fine. Let every region rule themselves. Let them determine the law in their place. Let them use their customs, use their religion to determine how they want to live their lives and control their resources and their land and allocate accordingly. Somebody who is born in a waterlogged area or in an area that's close to the river, they would eat their diet would be different from somebody who is in a landlocked part of Nigeria, but we're forced to cohabit because of the powers that be. I am a proponent for breaking up to save lives. I don't see the benefit of forcing people to stay together. Nigeria, as it is, was is an amalgamation of different cultures and different tribes, and it's not functioning. We need to decentralize the power in Abuja and give people autonomy